Oh, you want some? You want some? You can get the hell out of here with that. You know what? I'm gonna say it. You can take all of these big name publishers and throw them in the trash. Forget EA, forget Ubisoft, forget BioWare. The only people everyone's eyes should be on are Devolver Digital. There it is. These absolute mad lads, after they're done using E3 to demonstrate the insanity-inducing effects of continuous cocaine use, always bring attention to some of the indie titles that end up nearest and dearest to my heart. And they've done it again with Olija. This is a game that reminds me how much I value a short, solid experience. You know, something that's not plowing hours of grinding materials so I can get more gear that I don't need to go to an area that I don't care about to fight something that's not really that interesting.
No one escapes my sight!
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Although it's got the label of being developed by Skeleton Crew Studio, Olija is another one of those indie games mostly made by one very talented person. Yet another one of those people that make me look in the mirror and feel a deep sense of disappointment at all of the accomplishments I've made in my life so far. The game tells the story of Faraday, the lord of a dying coastal city who goes out with a few meager crewmates on a search for food and fortune. But after they're all caught in a terrible storm and attacked by a whale, he wakes up alone, shipwrecked in the mysterious world of Terraphage. After being attacked by these weird flubber-looking motherfuckers, saved by an elderly boatman, and discovering a mystical harpoon, he begins his journey to find his way home. I finished Olija in about 4.5 hours. It's a riveting tale from start to finish which tries to make every moment and every screen a fresh and interesting experience. What makes it such a joy to play is a fun, fluid traversal and combat system with constant surprises waiting around the corner. The genius that created this game, Thomas Olsen, pointed to Prince of Persia, Moby Dick, and Pirates of the Caribbean as its influences. But personally, on top of that, it reminds me a lot of Samurai Jack. Oh, if you don't know what Samurai Jack is, oh man, let me tell you. It's about this samurai from feudal Japan who goes out to kill a demon, but then the demon throws him forward in time and he ends up in the future, and then there are aliens and robots and a Scotsman, and he takes care of a baby, and then he fights demons, and then he fights a futuristic hunter, and he fights himself, and then Okay, I'll get back to it. Both Jack and Faraday are thrown into strange land, and then he becomes a chicken, and then he fights zombies, and then he goes into space, and then search across a weird, wonderful, and alien world to find their way home. Similarly to the show, when speech is used in the game, it's careful and measured. The main way you find out the rotten past of this dark and decrepit world are through things you piece together from the environment you travel through, the dramatic voiceover of the boatman, and short interactions with the cast of characters you meet along the way. There's no random letters, notebooks, or strangely convenient audio logs with the exact safe code you need to open a door to distract you from your goal. It's a very minimalist game that's a great example of the old adage, show, don't tell. You're given the chance to explore the world at your own pace. The puzzles are simple but satisfying to complete, and there are a handful of collectibles that keep you looking for clues on every screen and going off the beaten path. The different areas you travel to and the people you meet have their own stories to tell, and there are constantly unique interactions taking place to keep things— Excuse me, did you seriously just spit at my feet? Do that again and watch me stick this harpoon right up your— On top of this, the city of Oaktide, where the boatman takes you, serves as your base of operations and grows over time, as castaways and wayward souls with nowhere else to go try to rebuild their lives. The characters feel charismatic with cool little touches, like how the healer that upgrades your health always spills something whenever you wake her up, like she's got a massive hangover. Or how the explorator who gathers you resources shouts in excitement whenever you send him off. You're also able to get your style on a bit by building hats that grant you different combat abilities throughout the game. You could even say that some of the effects are rather shocking. Even outside of the great presentation and the world building, the real star of the show is this harpoon. This harpoon is so good that despite the fact it wasn't even meant to be a core gameplay mechanic, the creator made it one because it was too much fun to use. At first you're walking around, jumping, smacking all these flubber boys with your hands, thinking it's all quite basic. But the second you get the harpoon, oh baby, that's when you feel like everything really starts to come together. The harpoon is a weapon, a key, a grappling hook, and a teleporter, all rolled into one. There's immense satisfaction in throwing it and dashing in to slice at an enemy, or chaining together multiple grapples to traverse a room. Topping this off with its integration with the game's puzzle elements, you can see how Olsen has really worked to keep the gameplay as fresh as it can be. And when you're not dashing all over the place, the harpoon flows well into a surprisingly deep combat system. Though the game is pretty easy overall, the combat encounters are varied and satisfying, especially the handful of bosses. At first you're mostly mashing buttons blindly, just trying to get whatever the hell these things are to die, seeing the random dots above your head that turn into whatever the hell this is. But then, slowly, you start to make sense of it. This synergizes well with the numerous sub-weapons you obtain throughout the game. Learn how to control Faraday properly, and you'll be flying across the screen destroying enemies without a second thought. The sound design of the game is another element that helps bring it to life. During combat, everything has a crunchy, heavy weight to it that makes it really satisfying to bring the pain. And even simple things like climbing a ladder or navigating the menu are pleasing to the ear. The music is a strange meld of ambient, shoegazy, lo-fi, hip-hop and East Asian influences. Everything demands your attention. Just sit back and let me bless your ears for a second. Now, I know that Olsen is talented, but you know, he couldn't have also done, he did the music as well. He did the music as well. Oh my god. For me, some games aren't about the playability. They're about the special moments and the wondrous reactions you have when you first play through them. That initial experience that just leaves it stuck in your mind for months to come. Olija pulls you into its world, rushes you off your feet, and then dumps you on the other side like a wonderful hurricane. It may not be a long experience, but it sure is a sweet one that I think is well worth your time. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you next time.